In a world hurtling headlong toward destruction, there was one man who chose to walk in the opposite direction. The earth was becoming corrupt. Violence was escalating. Sin was no longer hidden. It was celebrated. People lived without fear of God, following only their own desires. Generation after generation repeated the same pattern: to be born, to live for themselves, and to die without hope. But Enoch was different. Not because he was stronger, not because he was wiser, but because he chose something almost no one else did: to walk with God. That walk wasn't symbolic. It wasn't religious. It was daily, constant, profound. While others walked toward pride, Enoch walked toward obedience. While others were lost in darkness, Enoch sought the light. And that began to show. Enoch lived among a generation that didn't want to hear about justice or surrender, but his life spoke volumes even in his silence. His way of living was an indictment to those who loved sin. He didn't need to raise his voice. His walk revealed that there was another way to live. As the years passed, Enoch began to warn that this world wouldn't last forever, that evil would have consequences, that God wouldn't eternally ignore what was happening on earth. His words were unsettling. They provoked mockery, rejection, and contempt, but Enoch didn't stop. He didn't live to please men. He lived to please God. Time passed. Enoch started a family. His son Methuselah grew up seeing a father unlike any other. While men sought power, Enoch sought fellowship. While others clung to this world, Enoch lived as someone who knew he didn't belong to it. Year after year, his relationship with God deepened. It wasn't an occasional event. It was a constant intimacy. Enoch didn't walk before God or behind him. He walked with God. And that detail changed everything. Because walking with God transforms the way we think, speak, and live. Enoch didn't just avoid evil, he desired the divine will. His life became an impossible contrast to ignore in an increasingly dark land, until the day arrived that no one expected. An ordinary day, without announcements, without visible signs. Enoch went for a walk, as he had so many times before. Minutes passed, then hours. But Enoch didn't return. They searched for him. They searched the roads. They called his name. They waited until the sun set. But Enoch was not there. There were no footprints, no signs of violence, no human explanation. He simply vanished. There was no body, no grave, no death. God took him. Enoch was not taken by judgment, but taken by communion. He was not removed by punishment, but by approval. He walked so close to God that he crossed from this world to the eternal without passing through death. His absence left an unsettling silence. People continued living. They continued ignoring the warnings. They continued surrendering to corruption. But one thing was clear: not all paths end the same. The years continued to pass. Evil reached its peak. The land was filled with violence. And on the day Methuselah died, what Enoch had warned about finally came to pass. Judgment fell. The waters covered the earth. The world that mocked God was silenced. But Enoch was never seen again. He left no tomb. He left no human remains. He left an eternal message. His story isn't about fame or visible achievements. It's about intimacy, about silent faithfulness, about walking steadily when no one else would. Enoch reminds us that not everyone who lives truly walks, and not everyone who walks moves in the right direction. Because in the end, the most important question isn't how long you live or what you build on this earth. The question is just one: who are you walking with? Because the path you choose will determine not only how you live, but also how your story ends.